Hey guys, and welcome to Assist Type A, a video series where I just want to give some positivity to the FGC community via advice and motivation. Today isn't a direct response to any one person or tweet in particular, but rather a sentiment that I've been seeing on Twitter and other platforms as of late. Basically, the idea is that because there's been a recent spike of negative acts being conducted by specific members in the community, some people don't want to be associated with the FGC that these perpetrators were a part of. Let me start off by saying that I obviously don't condone any of the terrible actions that some of the members of the FGC have committed. This video is not excusing those people or their misdeeds, so please don't misinterpret it as such. To give my perspective on the situation, I think I need to state very clearly that in my opinion, there is no way to have any community that won't have some bad apples in the bunch. When you garner the attention of so many people, I think that it's an inevitability that you will have some bad actors amongst them. That being said, I'm not really sure what there is to gain from leaving the FGC over said people having done such things. First and foremost, what you're doing is extrapolating the actions of a few to represent the overall community, which by and large have not shown themselves to act in such ways. Secondly, the FGC has actively responded to each of these individual cases by removing these individuals from the community. If you don't want to be a part of a community whose response is to root out problematic actors in the scene, I'm not entirely sure what type of community you do want to be a part of. In my opinion, removing yourself from the FGC because of these people is only serving as a way to remove yourself from part of the enjoyment of fighting games. The overwhelming majority of my experiences in the FGC have been positive, and I can never imagine attributing a horrible set of actions to the overall community just because of the few terrible incidents that have occurred. The FGC isn't a community that has barriers to entry in terms of becoming a part of it. It's not policed in a way where people are vetted before they're allowed to be welcomed into the community. If you enjoy fighting games and you actively partake in playing and or watching them, then you're just sort of lumped in as part of the FGC. So instead of focusing on this large group of people that you really don't have any control over, I'd say it's probably more productive to focus on the smaller, more close-knit connections that you've made during your time within the FGC. Are your personal experiences filled with terrible people? Or are the majority of those experiences that you've had perfectly acceptable? As human beings, we have an inherent negativity bias that makes us fixate and remember the negative experiences that we've had much more so than the positive ones. Instead of letting that take control over our actions, I think it's more helpful to zoom out and look at the larger picture before making a decision. At the end of the day, it's obviously your decision, and it's entirely up to you to make the choice that's best for yourself. I do hope that ultimately people will decide to stay and help build the FGC up to the point where we all want it to be, instead of just leaving it entirely. I hope that helped you guys in some way. Until next time, keep your chin up, your mind open to learning, and your heart always yearning.